What if time fractured and sent you back to your childhood without asking? Imagine stepping into your hometown for just a moment of reflection, only to find yourself back in the past. You're still you, still your current age, but the world has rewound. Your parents are young again. Your younger self is just steps away. And time, it no longer makes sense. Today's tarot questions unravel this eerie phenomenon. Is it truly possible to return, physically and uninformed, to your childhood? What strange force allows it? And what happens if you meet yourself face to face across the timelines? Let's begin the reading and see what the cards reveal about this impossible journey into the past. Hello everybody, welcome back, and welcome if this is your first time on this channel. We're going to hop right in to this Twilight Zone inspired episode 5 with question 1. Is it truly possible to be returned physically and at the current age to childhood unasked and unexplained? All right, so we're going to start here with Oracle, because Oracle doesn't care what I think. Tarot likes to read my mind, so it's best for me to start with Oracle. So let's see. We have Night at the Museum. In Old Arizona. Whoa. Sometimes the shuffling is just a challenge, right? Okay. The Princess Bride. And 7 days leave. Move those down just a titch. Okay, so question again. Is it truly possible to be returned physically and at the current age to childhood unasked and unexplained? So with Night at the Museum, I believe this is a card that says absolutely yes. Anything is possible. And if you've seen this movie, you know exactly what I mean with that. And over here we have In Old Arizona. And one of the lines on this card is, you hear what you see while enjoying in Old Arizona. So you hear what you see. That's an interesting line. And I'm not going to go further with that as yet. With The Princess Bride, that is a movie that sparks the childhood imagination. So it's almost another card that reiterates this first one, because at the start of the card is a young boy who's supposed to be sick, and his grandpa comes and reads him this story. And he thinks it's really not all that great at first, and then all of a sudden it's like, wow, please finish reading it. I'm good. I'm okay. And so I feel like it's saying both times that yes, and that over here you hear what you see. So I think what you see in your mind's eye, what you see in front of you, is what you will also hear. So in other words, if you see a carousel in front of you, you're going to hear that carousel, the music. If you see a dog in front of you, maybe you'll hear that barking dog. There's certain aspects of going back into the past in this way to your childhood that is going to give you specific things that you hear and see. And here it says 7 days leave. So I'm going to say that if you take this trip, it's going to be at least 7 days, only it probably won't feel like that in real time. So we have Lord of the Rings, People Got to Be Free, and New Direction. So yeah, with Lord of the Rings, it's definitely going to be a journey. One that is powerful, definitely powerful. And with people got to be free, I think this is just basically about the mode of travel. They're showing a train of freedom. So I think however you end up getting there, not necessarily by train, but however you end up getting there, it's going to, in the tail end, head you in another direction. When your time is up, it's going to head you in a whole new direction. So let's see what the tarot has to add. And so it is definitely, there is a reason that you're not being asked to go and that it's not being explained to you before you go. So we have the Magician. Yeah, anything is possible. Anything. The Devil. In this case, you really have no power over the situation. It is, you're being whisked away. And Star. Yeah, the Star for me is a card of angels and spirit guides and otherworldly beings, good ones who help guide our path. And I think that that is where, or who, has the power to send us back there. And this is just a guess, but there's somebody much higher or beyond the veil who is doing this. Oops. And then we have the Queen of Swords. 7 days leave. She's just saying, yep, that's truth. That's what'll happen. Death. Yeah, this journey is going to be a complete transformation for you. 8 of Pentacles. Might be something that happens even more than once. This might be something, once you have this experience, you might actually request from the universe to do this more than once so that you can perhaps master certain things about your childhood that you just never thought that you could get past, maybe. And the 10 of Cups. Yeah, this is going to head you into a whole new direction. Very loving direction. This is like the ultimate happiness card. So it's going to lead you someplace very happy. So we're going to pick these up. And if you're new to my channel, this is how I do my cleanup between each question, mainly because I feel like if I put the cards in randomly and then shuffle and get a repeat card, I know that things are mixed well and that it wasn't just because I shuffled badly that we have repeat cards. So, and I do the same thing with the oracle cards. I don't necessarily take one, I don't put them back in any kind of order. I just grab them and put them back randomly in each pile. So I do know, doing it this way, that repeat cards are important. All right, so question 2, what strange force has this power and why give the experience? So this is where maybe we find out who does it and the reason behind doing it. Okay. Catch 22. Roadhouse. No I do not take jumpers. Not in these readings, anyway. Almost lost that whole deck out in the across the table. Here I am too high again. I must have bumped my camera. Okay. And bringing up baby. So the question again, what strange force has this power and why give the experience? The Catch-22 card is a little confusing at the moment. I almost feel like it's saying that you can't know. They can't tell us this because if they do, it's going to ruin the experience or will change something in the experience. It's a catch-22 there for some reason. With Roadhouse, the reason behind doing this, okay, what I understand, at least from this card, is that there are certain things that we need to rectify in our childhood, and this is a great way in which to do it. Because a lot of times we will, I guess, suppress things that happened to us in childhood while our parents were bringing us up. And when we suppress them, sometimes the truth needs to come out as adults. So we have this Guns for Hire, Volcano, and Mosquito Coast. So I feel like this is saying with these cards, our parents raised us, right? And sometimes things are a fog. The purpose of going back is to rectify things in childhood that we don't remember quite properly, or maybe don't remember quite properly, that feel threatening and feel very, what is the word? I don't want to say eruptive. That can cause us to erupt very quickly or cause us to want to run from the world. Things that have become belief systems. So we don't know who has the power. It's not telling us that. That's the Catch-22, but it is saying the reason why we need to heal some things in our childhood sometimes that we wouldn't heal otherwise. So we have the Ten of Pentacles. Yeah, this is just whoever's doing it, it's what they're meant to do. It's what they're supposed to do with us. It's their job. Okay, the Nine of Pentacles with Roadhouse. Yeah, we need to be able to turn the tables so that life for us is much more pleasant, that we feel more comfortable in our skin. Wheel of Fortune. Yeah, some of the things that happen in childhood, it's kind of a spin the wheel, poke your finger to stop it and go, don't remember that. Oh yeah, I remember some of that. And we have Queen of Pentacles. Yep, that's the ultimate mama. She's the one who cares for the baby. And I know there's the Empress too, but the Queen of Pentacles is the Earth Mom. So bringing up baby works perfectly. Ten of Cups. So yeah, the things that we're afraid of, we want those to end up being happy memories. Like super happy memories. And the Chariot, they want us to be able to rise above those things that I'm going to say trigger. I hate that word, but the things that trigger us, the things that make us erupt, make us really angry. And then 5 of Cups. They want us to be able to deal with loss if necessary, rather than running away from loss. All right, so that was pretty straightforward. That one was. We will clean this up and move on to question 3. There are only 5 questions in this particular episode. A lot of times there's 6. You wouldn't think one question would make a difference, but time-wise it definitely does. All right, so let's get the oracle cards put away. Stay. All right, almost there. Okay, so question 3. Will the version of childhood experienced be true to memory or different? I think that's a really good question. If you go back in time, are you going to see what you really experienced, or is it going to be a different scenario? Different completely. Trouble. Man in the Iron Mask. Pay it forward. And Field of Dreams. Okay, so the question again, will the version of childhood experienced be true to memory or different? I think what it's saying here is where you're going will be to probably the most troubled time in your childhood. The time that you just can't seem to, do I want to say remember or face? A time that you really just can't face. So they're giving you the opportunity to experience it and then turn the tables. The Field of Dreams, build it and they will come, but this also kind of reminds me of lucid dreaming. So they're going to let you experience it because it's something that you just have never been able to face. And then they're going to allow you to move forward by seeing it in a totally different light. It's almost like they're going to play it out in 2 ways for you. Let's go further. Devil Woman, Black and White, and True Grit. And okay, so they're going to use a bit of magic in, again, allowing you to see it more than one way. So you will see it when you first go in the original way, the way that in adulthood you are not able to face. Then they're going to let you decide how you would like it to have actually been. What would change it for you? What would make it not an issue in adulthood? And the magic will be used, and what you find it'll be black and white, as though that's how it always happened. And by doing this, they're going to change it for you so that you don't feel like you have to track this feeling or this emotion anymore. So let's see what more tarot has to share. It'll also kind of show you what you're made of with the true grit. All right, so with trouble, we have the Ten of Swords. Yeah, for this particular one, I'm going to say they're just reiterating, yeah, they're going to take you to one of your toughest places. Page of Swords. They want to give you a new message to communicate to yourself, one that you can actually face. And when they say they're going to allow you to pay it forward or move forward, again, we have the Star card. Star card is angels, spirit guides, otherworldly beings. So I do believe they are the ones in charge of this process. But again, it was a catch-22. They really can't tell us for sure. Then they're going to, with the Nine of Swords, they're going to offer us a different manner of thinking that is more dynamic, better or stronger energy to change things. Knight of Cups. It'll act on the emotions. This magic they're doing will act on the emotions. Then we have the Three of Pentacles with Three Dog Knight. The growth that you're going to experience, life growth that you're going to experience, is basically black and white. You know what has happened. And the Chariot again. It's going to lift you up in a way that you haven't felt, in a way that makes it so that you can face things, because what you remember is going to be totally different, because you're going to have a different experience. You're going to create that different experience. And apparently you're going to have help creating that different experience. All right. So we're moving on to question 4 here shortly. And again, can't remember if I said anything about my Chihuahua. I usually do in every video, but you may hear strange sounds in the background of every video I do. And that is my Chihuahua, who absolutely loves to put in his 2 cents in all the videos, so you'll hear him snoring. All right, so question 4. If we meet our childhood self, will it disrupt anything in the current life and age? And if it does, is it meant to? Okay. We have Ain't No Mountain High Enough. It's a Wonderful Life. Now, in the Twilight Zone episode that this episode is inspired from, the guy that went back into childhood, he scared himself as a kid, and the kid got hurt on the merry-go-round, and the guy carried that limp back into his current life. So that's where this question came from. That was boy, tongue twisters. Little Willie is this card. All right, again, Man in the Iron Mask. All right, so the question again was, if we meet our childhood self, will it disrupt anything in the current life and age? And is it meant to if it does? All right, so I think what they're saying with Ain't No Mountain High Enough is, if you're going back to childhood, chances are you're going to run into yourself. And that may very well be part of the process. Either way, it's going to be okay. It's going to be, you're going to have a wonderful life regardless, okay? Whether you run into yourself or not. This is a card of healing. The whole purpose of this is healing. And if you have to face yourself, if you have to unmask your child self, well then obviously you would have to come face to face. He ain't heavy, he's my brother. Every kind of people, and the butcher's wife. So he ain't heavy, he's my brother. I think this is in the unmasking of your childhood self. I feel like this is saying that you really don't have to carry all the burden, that you weren't to blame for something, or whatever the scenario is, you don't have to carry it anymore. You don't have to carry the burden anymore. It's okay to be friends with different kinds of people. It's okay to make connections, deeper connections with people. It's okay. And in fact, and I find this interesting because in the movie Man in the Iron Mask, they were twins. He had a twin. The king had a twin. In The Butcher's Wife, she doesn't have a twin. She has what she calls a split apart, which is a man who, and the split apart is according to Plato. And I can't remember, that's Plato. I can't remember exactly what the saying was. It's been a long time since I saw the movie, but it has something to do with them being split apart and coming back together. So the whole purpose here is to bring your childhood self back to the adult you, and to have it be a good experience and have it be comfortable for you, to let you know that it's okay to be who you are. So let us see what the tarot has to add. Oh. So I really enjoy doing these readings a lot. And I hope that you're enjoying too. Kind of a different kind of aspect to the readings. If you do, please don't hesitate to like and subscribe and share, because that helps build and grow the channel, and also comment. I'd love to hear your take on some of these spreads. Okay, so with the tarot we have the Seven of Pentacles. So if you plant the seed in your mind, or have talked about it, or planted the seed and the universe gets wind of it, where, gosh, I wish I could go back to my childhood and do this. You plant the seed, and then there's no mountain high enough that's going to keep it from happening. Strength. Yeah, facing things takes a lot of strength. It takes a lot of strength. And the whole point here is so that you have a wonderful life. That's what it's all about. And the Nine of Swords, yeah, that's facing all your anxieties and your fears and healing those things. For some people, childhood was just unbelievably difficult. For others, it was the teenage years that were so much worse. Justice. Yeah, this is where you get justice for yourself. And I'm not saying by, hurting someone else in, when you go back in time. It's just being able to face the things that you've never faced before. And we have the Page of Pentacles. Yeah, the message here for life is, it's not all your fault. You do not have to carry every burden. You don't. Eight of Wands. I believe this is saying that once you go through this process, you're going to be able to have deeper connections quite rapidly, because you'll be passionate enough to want it. You'll be passionate enough to want it. And then with the Butcher's Wife, we have the Five of Swords. Might be a little chaotic in your mind, but things will come back together. Things for you will come back together because they're meant to. It's the way it's supposed to be. You and your childhood self are supposed to be one. So let us pick up these cards and move on to the last question in this episode. All right. Not sure what my Chihuahua was just barking at, but he's definitely on the alert right now. And unfortunately, as much as I would like to cut out a lot of the sounds that he makes during this, I'm sorry, it's life. If I cut it out, I'd be forever trying to re-film and edit, and yeah. I live with the dog. It is what it is. Okay, so question 5, when we are returned, will we remember the experience? I think this is a good question because, are you just going to feel more whole, or are you going to remember exactly what happened? For love of the game, half-breed, and please, no bad comments about that. That is a song by Cher. It's the title of the song. The Butcher's Wife again. Whoa, come back. Okay. That one really went flying. So we have jumpers. I imagine we have flyers too. All right. The Truman Show. All right, so for love of the game, for love of the game, I'm going to say that one of the main lines in that show is called Clear the Mechanism. I feel like for some, you're going to come back just with a clean slate. You're not going to remember having gone at all. I think it will probably end up feeling more like a dream, is my thinking. You will, however, somehow know in this dream that you've been someplace else, that you've been to like another world almost is what it's going to feel like. And that you've been healed. It was a healing place. And that it brought you back together. You feel more whole. Now you see me. Offer, and bringing up baby. So with the now you see me, I think that for some people, it is possible that you will realize that it wasn't just a dream or an illusion or something like that. You will remember. But I think this is maybe offered at a point in your childhood when you went, that somebody offered it somehow so that you could remember if you chose you wanted to. So let's see what Tarot has to share. All right, so for love of the game, we have Lovers. Yeah, it's a choice. They're giving a choice here. Clear the mechanism or remember. So I guess that's why offer is under there. So yeah, clear the mechanism or remember. And with half-breed, we have Ace of Swords. The potential to come back healed and with all new beliefs. And we have Death. So this is the transformation that takes place. This is the bringing together of your adult self and your childhood self. Done so swiftly. It might have said 7 days leave on that one card, but done so swiftly that it actually feels like a dream. Or like someone else went through it and not you. Six of Pentacles. Yeah, it's being shared with you as though, and yeah, it's being shared with you because when you see things for what they actually are and not the illusion that you remember, it brings harmony to life. And the offer, I guess, is the Sun, a happy life, a good life with clarity. So you don't have to live in the shadows. And with the Ten of Cups, yeah, we've got, now you can see bringing up baby, your childhood, as with this Ten of Cups, as an absolutely beautiful path to the life that you're on now. Everything is healed. This opportunity brings you together with your childhood self and gives you the chance to rectify everything or the things that are most troubling to you. So that is it for this episode. Again, never know what I'm going to end up with on these. So going to give you a teaser for next week's episode of the Twilight inspired series, episode 6. Next time, we dive into this seductive nightmare of forever. If humanity could live forever, who or what might offer it? And once you've seen eternity, would you still want it? Immortality may be the ultimate trap, and the clock is no longer ticking. So that is the teaser for next week's episode. Also on the screen, you can see the show schedule. So you can see that I do 2 other shows every week. And so I'm hoping that you'll find another one or both that you really would enjoy watching and go check them out. But for now, that is it for this episode. I thank you so much for being a part of it and for supporting this channel in this way. And I want you to have a fantastic week. So until next time, take care.